Hi, hi. We have Thomas Linders once again,
Greetings.
our water expert, and today we'll be talking about water and municipal water, and just explaining a bit more on what is it we are drinking and using in our homes and on our skin. Thomas, give us a brief introduction on what your experience of water was and what can you share with us?
Yeah, I guess there is two things I'd like to talk about. Water that we get in our taps from, most of us use municipal water. We use that as to drink, to cook with, to bath in, to shower with. Last time we looked a little bit about how we are reusing that water. Now let's look at the water quality that comes into the house. You know, we hear in many of the cities we got excellent water, drink rather water from the tap than bottled water. Whilst I agree that bottled water is a great, almost a crime towards the environment, because we're putting water into plastic. No plastic is completely devoid of leaching chemical softeners into the water, and then we have throw bottles away that cause, even though we're recycling, many of those bottles don't actually are recycled. So yes, we should drink the water that is supplied into our houses, but the way we get it at the moment, I see two problems. The one is that they are loaded with chemicals. The least that is in our water is chlorine. In many of the first world-class cities, chlorine is replaced with ozone treatment, which is a way better treatment.
But in Johannesburg, as we speak, water...
As far as I know, not. I knew of one plant in Durban that used ozone to treat the water. And of course we're using chlorine to kill any traces of bacteria that would negatively affect us.
Okay.
But
Wow.
They also don't only treat the bad bacteria. They also destroy the beneficial bacteria.
So does that mean when I shower, the chlorine is actually absorbing into my skin and killing the goodness on my skin?
That is definitely, our skin is our largest organ.
Wow.
Our skin is not waterproof. We absorb water, especially if we obviously bath, but many of us spend more than 3 minutes under the shower, which we just should, from a water saving point of view. Yeah, we do absorb water into our skin, and with that everything that is in the water. On our skin is a very delicate balance of beneficial microbes that are necessary to be there. Our skin flora that helps us keep our skin healthy. And obviously with excessive chlorine in the water and even disinfectants in our soaps and so on, we are destroying that, and that is to the detriment of our health.
Okay, so that's why when I swim in gym, when I shower, I keep on feeling flakes of stuff falling off me. It's actually all what was once alive microflora is now deadened and peeling off.
Well,
so your body does reproduce it, but if killed on constant basis, it's not reproducing it fast enough.
That's right, yes, and with all our other environmental pressures onto our bodies, we have less and less the ability to really establish a proper microflora on our skin, on our scalp, and everywhere.
So that is basically what happens externally with municipal water onto our skin and onto our bodies. And I believe also the main using of the water is drinking it and making tea and cooking food with it. Yeah. And what happens then?
Well, that's again another. Again, we have the chemical contamination. I should say so. Waterworks would probably not agree with me, but for me, chlorine and any other chemicals that are added there,
Such as fluorides.
In certain city, fluorides are added to it,
And also I believe some certain dehardening agents added to water so it doesn't clog up the pipes.
That's right.
Whatever that chemical is.
Yeah.
But
again, it is something that you won't find naturally within water. So that's the one aspect, that you're drinking this, and that gets absorbed obviously into your body. Secondly, water has been pumped through pipes over many, many kilometers. And if you look at the nature of water, water always moves in rhythms. It always
meanders through a
It,
natural landscape.
Yes, it creates vortices, both on a horizontal level and on a vertical level.
What do these vortices do? What happens when a water falls from a waterfall or tumbles around the rock and meanders around the river? What does that do to water? Why is that so important? Why does nature does it?
We all know that water, we've learned at school, is H2O. So it is means that there is a hydrogen molecules and an oxygen molecule. And they are at different angles. They can be at different angles to each other. When water goes through a vertical movement, spins in other words, it realigns the angles in such a way that us as biological beings, or all biology within the world, can absorb it better into our cells.
So Thomas, the 2.5 liters of water that we drink every day, I don't feel like I'm nurtured at all. I feel like there's nothing in that water.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, that could be because it is not water that is alive. Alive in a sense that the structure of the water is not clustered, so the hydrogen-oxygen bonds are in a way that our cells can't absorb properly. You've noticed before, when you go and drink from a mountain stream or from a waterfall, how you don't even need very much water. You're hydrated very quickly.
Wow.
So we, I guess, want to emulate that a little bit in our house, to get a similar quality of water, and that we can get through vortexing. Well, ideally first filtering your water, especially filtering where the water comes into your house, so the water that you bath in, that you shower with, is already treated as well. And then the water that you drink, as you have explained, is easily either agitated with a stick to create a vortex, both clockwise and anti-clockwise a couple of times.
So can I just explain? So what Thomas means is, if we take the water in a jug and we just give it a spin with our spoon, clockwise and anti-clockwise, we replicate the natural vortices that the water does when it falls over a waterfall and goes around the rocks, and that adds the aliveness into water and restructures its H2O angles. The best is to see Dr. Emoto's work, how the water forms beautiful crystals when blessed and without going too esoteric, or vortexed water. Yeah.
Or naturally occurring water. He shows very beautiful pictures of spring water compared to municipal water.
Yes, yes. So there is a way to get our municipal water to resemble more natural way through a few of the devices.
Yes. Very simple, actually.
Very simple.
Yes.
Wow. Something I can do at home?
Well, yes, that is the vortexing, filtering, vortexing. You can even look at tryvortex.zia.za. They have made a disc that restructures the water very quickly, very beautifully. Within 30 seconds you got beautifully restructured water. You can put that also in your bathtub and so on. So if you really want a good spa treatment, then that's what you could do at home. Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Also, I bought a little filter that I've stuffed with crushed seashells and crystals and stones. Again, not to go too esoteric about it, but as water flows through that little filter, I get remineralization and recalcification of water, and then, you know, I'm absorbing those nutrients into my body. I don't believe too much into supplements. I really think that we could get a lot out of our garden, and our garden gets its nutrients from water. So in the next video we'll be speaking about connection to nature and creating an ecosystem in your garden reusing your water that's coming out of the bath and looping it back in a system 5 times, and then thus creating a connection with nature.
An ecosystem, yes, that you can reconnect again on a daily basis, rather than on an annual basis when you go for your 2-3 week holiday to the sea or to the mountainside.
Yeah. And I've experienced with my son playing in the garden and growing food together. He left his PlayStations and TV just to be with the frogs and the plants in the garden, especially the plants that he can eat. So we're talking about not just an ornamental garden, we're talking about abundance and saving of food bill, and also connection with you, your family and your child or children.
Yes,
yeah.
Indeed.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, and thank you.
Good. So would love to hear your comments. Please scroll down and share your stories with water and any tips and tricks. Would love to hear from you. Scroll below and leave a comment. Bless you.